All right, let's talk about a total titan of the web development world, React. It's the library that completely changed how we build for the web, but, the whole conversation around it has started to shift, and pretty dramatically. So today we're going to dive into that whole story, the rise, the reckoning, and what feels like a return to the basics.
I mean, let's be real. React is everywhere. It's the engine humming behind the apps you and I use every single day. So what's the deal? Why is there this growing debate, this rumble in the developer community, a feeling that maybe, just maybe, we took a wrong turn somewhere down the line? That's the big question we're going to try to unpack today.
Okay, so to really get what's happening now, we've got to go back. We have to understand why React became such an unstoppable force in the first place.
And just look at the sheer scale here. We're not talking about small-time websites. We're talking Instagram, Netflix, Airbnb, Spotify. These are the absolute giants. These are incredibly complex applications that you probably have open in another tab right now. React's whole component model and its performance tricks made it the perfect choice for building these massive, super interactive interfaces.
And this, right here, this is the key to its whole origin story. React wasn't just some cool idea somebody had in a garage. No, it was forged in the fires of Facebook to solve a very, very specific problem they had, trying to manage a user interface with thousands of little pieces being worked on by tons of different teams, all needing to update constantly in real time. It was a solution built for massive, mind-bending complexity.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, this is where our story takes a turn. Because when a tool that was built for that kind of hyperscale becomes the default for everybody, well, you start to see the hidden costs. This is the reckoning.
And this is really the question at the heart of the whole debate, isn't it? Do most of us actually have Facebook's problems? The honest answer for the vast majority of websites out there, marketing pages, blogs, company dashboards, is no, not even close. So, have we been using a sledgehammer to crack a nut this whole time? Because for most web projects, you really don't need this mountain of complexity. All this stuff, client-side routing, giant global state management libraries, virtual DOMs, they're incredibly powerful for sure. But a lot of the time, they're just architectural overhead. They're extra weight for projects that are really just about showing content, not running a social network.
And this quote, man, it just perfectly captures that feeling of whiplash so many developers have. The whole ecosystem just moves at a breakneck pace. New patterns, new libraries, they pop up so fast that the right way to do things you just learned feels totally obsolete 6 months later.
And if you want a perfect example of this churn, just look at state management. It's been a whirlwind. First, it was all about Redux. You had to use Redux. Then, nope, the new built-in context API was going to replace it. Then came simpler, slicker libraries like Zoostand. And now the entire philosophy is shifting again, with people saying, hey, maybe most of this state should just live on the server. It's exhausting just trying to keep up.
Now, the result of all this isn't just developer confusion, it's actual real fragility. You see, the whole tiny package philosophy of the web's package manager means even a simple little React app can pull in literally thousands of dependencies. And every single one of those is a potential security hole or a breaking change just waiting to happen. You end up with this massive invisible supply chain that you never asked for and you can't really control.
But here's the thing. This isn't a story of doom and gloom. Not at all. Because as that big pendulum swings away from all this complexity, it's swinging back towards something incredibly powerful and stable, the web platform itself. This is the return.
I mean, this comparison really says it all. You have to remember, React was created to patch holes that the web platform just couldn't fill at the time. But look at today. The browser themselves have evolved so much. We now have native solutions for so many of these things. Modules, handling async code, even components. And don't even get me started on how powerful CSS has become. The platform has caught up.
So, what does this all mean? It means the era of React being the default answer for everything is probably coming to an end. It's becoming about picking the right tool for the right job. And the landscape is just full of amazing options. React? Still fantastic for those massive, complex SaaS apps. But if you're building a business app quickly, maybe look at HTMX. Building a super fast content site, Astro is your friend. The one-size-fits-all approach is fading.
And this really gets to the heart of the philosophical shift that's happening. For about a decade, it felt like we were trying to ignore the web's foundations, trying to move all the logic to the client side. Now the industry is kind of waking up and realizing, hey, maybe that simple, robust request and response model that the web was built on wasn't actually the problem we needed to solve.
So if we stop just chasing the latest, shiniest framework, what should be our North Star? What should be our guiding principle? Well, it boils down to one simple, incredibly powerful idea that has everything to do with the person actually using what we build.
And that principle is object permanence. It's a term from psychology, but it is the absolute bedrock of a good user experience. It's all about trust. Does the user trust that the things they see and the data they enter will stay put? That the system will remember what it's supposed to?
Think about it this way. In the real world, we have a deep, intuitive understanding of how things work, right? If you put your keys on the table, they stay there. They don't just vanish. Good software should feel the same way. Hitting the refresh button on a page shouldn't feel like a gamble where you might lose the 5 paragraphs you just wrote.
And this is the crucial connection. This is where it all comes together. All that tooling complexity we talked about, the chaotic state management, the unexpected re-renders, it isn't just a headache for developers. It directly leads to bugs and weird behaviors that shatter the user's sense of permanence. It creates software that feels glitchy, unreliable, and frankly, just stressful to use.
So, at the end of the day, the ultimate takeaway from this whole journey isn't that React is good or bad. That's the wrong way to look at it. We should be asking a much better question. Forget the hype, forget what's popular on Twitter this week. The only question that really matters is this one. Is the tool I'm choosing making the user's world more predictable or less?